do with all of your minis. So I need a way to organize my miniatures so that I can find a specific miniature, or when I'm not DMing, one of our friends can find our miniatures. He doesn't do a lot of painting, so he doesn't have a lot of miniatures, so frequently he will borrow mine. And I needed to find a way that instead of him just saying, hey, I need X, Y, and Z, and me thinking, I might have those, I don't know, I'll go look, and digging through a bin of minis, that I could actually have him search them, tell me what he needs. He always throws in a few extras, so I don't necessarily know what we're encountering. And then I throw them in another bin and can bring them on over, and he can have the right minis. So what I do is I keep all of my miniatures in a Plano box or a Flambeau box. I do have one of those I'll be talking about in a little bit. These are the 3600 size, and then I letter and number them. So this box happens to be C1. It's numbered 1 through 20. So when we open it up, we can see how all the miniatures are laid out. So each miniature will actually have a sticker on the bottom that tells me where it belongs. So this is C3, so I know that it goes right there. One thing to make it so I don't need quite as many cases is I don't always keep the miniatures 1-to-1. So for example, here we have a couple of Whiz Kids, I believe, skeletons. And so since they're very similar, I will just throw them in the same box, or in the same part of the container. Another neat trick, the Reaper bases fit a nickel very well, and it'll add a little weight to your plastic miniatures and make them a little harder to knock over. Here we have a couple of Dwarven Fighters, also Whiz Kids minis. This one has several in it. It has the Whiz Kids mini zombies and the Reaper miniature zombies in it. Now in this case, I have the bigger portions configured in two different ways. Down here, these are fairly skinny miniatures. Whiz Kids, medium water elementals, and some Whiz Kids spiders. And then these are fairly big, so I didn't put the divider in right there, so I can keep those bigger miniatures in there. Still can fit 4 in there though. That's the primary style of container that I use. But some miniatures just aren't big, or are too big to fit in the Plano container. So then I use these Sterilite 7-quart containers. These are labeled with just 2 letters, so this is AA, for example. I have some 3D printed Ogre and Cyclops. Those are both FDM. This is an example of an SLA printed Troll. But you can see here they still have the sticker on the bottom. So that's what I do with the miniatures that are too large to actually fit in the Plano cases. There are multiple styles of Plano cases. So, for example, this case here already has all the dividers in it. So this is F1 through 18 because it doesn't have as many slots. All of the miniatures in this case are metal, so I did go and put a little square of fabric in each one. They're the 30 cal through 38 cal cleaning patches. Fit down in there real nice. This one has some pretty good classics in it. We have the old Ralpartha Wolfgar miniature. Out of the same set, we have Dragonbait. classic Hill Giant. It's a Grenadier model from 1986. So that's the other style of case, or one other style. The next style of Plano cases that I use are the 3600 series, but they're double the thickness, so you can get a little bit bigger miniatures in them. This still doesn't fit a lot of the largest minis that I have, so this case is good for kind of your 2-inch base. So here we have a Displacer Beast. Shambling Mound. And some other assorted miniatures that I keep in the double deep. Like I said, it's good for your 2-inch based minis. This here would be another option. So this is the 3700 series Plano case. This one doesn't happen to have any dividers in it, but they do make ones with dividers. So this is where I keep all my scattered terrain that I use with my battle boards. These are the pillars. I do have a video about painting those. Go ahead and take a look. And then also a video about making the battle board. But this is where I'll keep some of my scattered terrain. I have some 3D printed spell effects. This is Mage Hand, Mage Weapon, and then some of the 3D printed pieces for measuring spell effects. So this happens to be a 30-foot cone. How we mark people are unconscious or hasted. Different markers we can put on the minis. Closed doors, open doors, all sorts of pieces in there. I believe everything, with the exception of this is a Reaper Miniatures piece. Everything else is 3D printed. Mostly FDM, those are SLA printed. So Plano isn't the only manufacturer to make these boxes. We have a Flambeau case. So I did buy one of these to see if I like them better. Honestly, they're about the same price. The Plano cases at Walmart, I believe, were $288. I think this was $279, wherever I got it from. So they're all about the same price. This one has nice even of the square boxes, but these are a little shorter. So you get 4 along here instead of 3, and then a little shorter piece here. For example, I would have been able to fit 2 of these Yeti in the other one, where I can only fit 1 here. So this box is just starting to get filled up. I haven't done the lettering and the numbering on it yet, but I do have a few miniatures in it. So those are the different boxes that I use. Now we can talk about setting up a box. So here I have a brand new box that I haven't used yet. And when you open it, you'll see that all of the dividers have been injection molded as strips. So when you look at these strips, one important thing is to get this little connecting piece, it needs to be cut off exactly flush with that, otherwise it won't fit. Alright, so when putting these in, there's a smooth edge and then there's an edge that is flared out a little bit, and then there's 2 dovetails on the side. So a lot of times you got to kind of pinch in and go like that. You want to make sure this flat side is up, pinch in, and make sure you get them in the dovetails. That kind of helps keep the sides from flexing too when you get them all in. Now you notice I don't put dividers in these ones. That makes an awfully small compartment to fit a miniature in. Of course, there are your cases, so if you decide to go with this, you certainly can. You could get one smaller miniature standing up in there, give you a little bit more room in each one. So then we can go ahead and close it up. Fortunately, they made these stickers easy to remove. So the sticker just comes right off, and then we're ready for our lettering and numbering or whatever system you want to use. So that's how I set the cases up. Next, we'll take a look at what I do on the computer and the Google Sites site that I built to keep track of what is where.
So here you can see the Google Sites page that I made that has pictures of all my minis on it, and then also what box they are, brief description. So here you can just see, here's a picture of box A, and then here's a description of what's in it. So say I need a male wizard. All I would have to do is hit Control F and try male human wizard. So that brings us to, for example, in box H6. So then if I want to get a better look at it, I can click on the box there, and here is my human male wizard. The other thing I did for each box is if it's a normal D&D monster and is in the monster manual somewhere, I put a link to the D&D Beyond page that has the information for it. So I could even use this while I'm DMing to look up the stats of a monster. So each one links out. You can see the creatures that are in box H or the different characters and minis that could be used. So then along the top it auto generates the links to each of the box. So if I want to look in my box of big monsters, then I can just click on the box AA and it has pictures of all of the monsters in the box a little bit larger. I did not link these out to larger pictures. I think these pictures give a good enough representation of what's in the box. I also only did a front view for the most part, instead of doing kind of my normal front and back view when I post a mini. So that's how you can find whatever mini you're looking for, as long as you can remember some keywords, evil paladin, female human fighter, kind of pieces like that, that will allow you to find any of the minis that you're looking for. If you found this video helpful, you can help me out by giving me a like and a subscribe on this video, and I'll be making more D&D videos in the future. Thanks.